Morning everyone, my name is Audrey. I'm stitchywitch42 here on FlossTube and over on Instagram. Today is Monday, the 27th day of March 2023, and I am registered for a Pacific Northwest Stitch Summit by Acorns and Threads in September. Yes! That was an important thing to announce. This is my channel about cross-stitch, life, the universe, and everything. And I have to tell you all, I'm a bad wife. I'm a bad wife and a horrible mother. But I got instant karma, so it's okay. All is good with the universe. My husband and son were going to go over to Eastern Oregon to do some rabbit hunting this weekend, and I was going to have Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and today to myself. And it's like, my house was going to be clean, and I could do what I want when I wanted, and I could watch what I wanted when I wanted. I got off work Friday, got home, husband and son were just finishing packing up and they got ready to leave, and then I had the house to myself. And I was happy, and it was good. I took a nap, I cleaned up, I brought the dirty clothes down so that I could get them washed early. And then I sent a text to my husband and said, "How's it going?" And he texts back, "It's cold." And I said, "Yeah." And he texts back, "It's real blankety blank cold." And I said, "Yeah." And everything was fine for a while. Then I got the phone call from them. It was probably 7:30 at night, and I picked up the phone and I said, "I'm sorry, you can't come home." And he goes, "I had a whole spiel ready for you." And I said, no, this is my weekend. This is the weekend I get to have the house clean. You can't come home. As I am listening to my husband's teeth chatter and his sniffling because it is so cold over in Eastern Oregon. Mother Nature has not come to the conclusion that yes, it is spring and the temperatures can go up. We had one nice day last week. It was almost 70 degrees. And then the next day it started raining and we had a wonderful thunderstorm. I'm that person. I love thunderstorms. Add lightning, I'm happy. But the temperatures dropped, and they were talking about snow this past weekend. I had some errands to run this morning. I drove by a car on my way home before I made this video, and the guy had 3 inches of snow on the roof of his car. It's March 27th in Oregon. We're not supposed to have the cold temperatures right now. But going back to my conversation with my husband while he's over in Eastern Oregon, he was telling me how cold it was in the campground that they were staying at. There was a communal fire pit which they were sitting around and still freezing. And then where their campsite is, they weren't allowed to have a campfire over there. They didn't realize until they got over there that the cots that they took to put their sleeping bags on did not fit inside the tent they had. And I laughed because I'm a bad wife. Bad wife. And then my husband goes, "Would you like to talk to your son while he's still alive?" Yes. And he gets on the phone and his teeth are chattering and he's sniffling because it's so cold over there. And I'm giggling. And no, you guys have to stay over there. This is my weekend to have the house clean. Karma got me. Karma got me. I went to bed. I curled up in my nice warm bed and I could not sleep because I am worried about my husband and son being over in Eastern Oregon with it being so cold that their teeth were chattering and they were sniffling because their noses were drippy, and I'm curled up in my bed and I can't sleep. I only got a couple hours of sleep that night because every time I woke up I thought of them over there, and I actually did pray for them. I did, because I'm a bad mother, bad wife. So I got up the next morning to go to work, and I sent a text wanting to know how everything was going, and I was surprised that I got a text back from my husband so early. He said they were fine. He goes, go ahead and go to work, and he goes, oh, you're already at work. He goes, we're fine, we're going to go check out the hunting area. And I said, okay. So when I got off work, I called them again, and they were up and about. They had gone to a restaurant and had breakfast, because the steaks that they had taken with them to cook for dinner were now more frozen than they were when they left the house. And the 5-gallon jug of water was almost completely frozen. And oh my gosh. I said, if you stay, please go to a hotel tonight. Please. Please. My son gave me a call about 4:30 Saturday night, and he goes, we're coming home. And I said, thank you. Thank you, because I was so worried about them. And yes, I was horrible. I laughed at them when they were over there that first night, because it kind of sort of was funny. But karma got me back right away. I couldn't sleep that night. I'm a horrible person sometimes, and I'm still giggling about it. But they came home, and I gave them hugs, and that's when karma really hit. Because I had my living room clean, and I had my kitchen clean, and my husband and my son came home, and all the stuff from the truck was piled up in the living room and in the kitchen. And all I could do was sit here and go, can't say anything, because I asked for them to be safe, and they're safe, and they're home, and I can't say anything, and I can't say anything. And karma, sometimes it gets you right away. Yeah. Would you like to talk about cross stitching? Okay. So, I don't remember what day I went up there, but I went up to see Cheryl and Anna and Janine at Cheryl's house, the local Cluckers. Do you remember the Mother Cluckers? We're still a group. But the Mother Cluckers is a bigger group. We were meeting up at Anna's house, and it was obviously Anna, Stitch Roadies. Excuse me, I got the hiccups. Anna, Stitch Roadies, Colleen and Cheryl from Stitching with the Sisterlies, Becca, Sambry Stitches, Heather, Punky Pearls, Susan Stanley, Stitch in Time, and myself. Susan, Heather, Becca, Colleen all live up in Washington. So the local Cluckers are Anna, Cheryl, Janine, and myself. We met up at Cheryl's house. I needed a stitching day with the ladies so bad. So bad. It was the Thursday after I did my video. It was 2 days after I did my public service announcement, and I got more to talk to you. Bleh. Words, man. I have more to talk to you about on that. So, I really wanted to go up there and stitch. I needed to see my lady friends. I needed them. And what I took up with me to stitch on was my Stoney Creek Halloween Village Afghan. Let me get things sorted here and unclipped, because just because I'm doing a video doesn't mean that I'm necessarily going to be prepared to do the video. Like I said, Mark is home. I would have had time to do it this morning, but I had errands to run, and yeah, rehashing all that stuff again, don't need to. So anyway, I had taken up my Stoney Creek, Halloween Village, Afghan. I had it all out of the Q-snap when I got up there. And fortunately, at Cheryl's house, she's got a large room that she uses for her quilting. So she's got her long arm quilting machine in there, and she's got a table set up for sewing, and she's got a layout table, and then she has another table where we can sit and stitch, and it's very well lit. There's a bank of walls, a bank of windows along one wall. Words. I went over to her layout table and I was putting everything back into my Q-snap so that I could start stitching. And Anna asked me, why do I bring such large projects with me when I come to the stitch-ups? I take my Alphonse Mucha with me when I go up to Acorns and Threads because it's on 14 count Ada and I can see it without having a light right over it. I take my Afghan because I'm stitching it on 20 count Lugana 4/2 so I can see it without light on it. I'm shedding. Do you shed? I swear I pick off all these random stray hairs and then I'll look down a half an hour later and there's more of them. I'm shedding. Okay. Babbling too, badly. I took my Halloween Village Afghan up there. On my last video, when I showed it to you, I had completed stitching the orange in the A pendant and outlining the H and the A pendants, and I had stitched the string that would be for the first L pendant. Keep that in mind right there. What I have done on this, because I have also stitched some of the other pendants on the other side, the pendants spell out Halloween. I have stitched the H and the A, and on the other side I have stitched the W, the E, N. So I get everything set up at the table, I grab the book out, and I start stitching the string across the first A, the first L pendant. And then I need to move it. And when I took the Q-snap off again, I'm looking at it, and this side is coming down like this, where this side is up here like this, and they're obviously not going to meet the way they're supposed to. Did you catch the reason why? Because I said it. On my last video, I showed you the H and the A pendants, and I had stitched the string above the first L pendant. And when I started stitching up at Cheryl's house, I was stitching the string above the first L pendant. So yes, I had to take that out. Then I started stitching on it, and this pattern is in a booklet. It's 30 pages, and each page has an overlap. So you can end up with a page that has an overlap for the previous page, an overlap for the next page, an overlap for the page above, and an overlap for the page down below. If you look at it, and if you're paying attention to what you're doing, it's easy to figure out where your next stitch is on the next page. I was chatting with 3 of my friends. I wasn't paying attention and I was having issues. I was looking at that overlap and I'm going from the one to the other, and it looked like there was a little row of 5 stitches here and then it dropped down again. So I did those 5 stitches and I did the drop down, and I'm looking at it and I'm just going, no, that just doesn't look right. So I pulled my thread off the needle. I went and I moved the Q-snap again so that I could do the string above the O pendant, because I've already done the W-E-E-N. So I do the string across the O pendant, and it's one level line. And it is supposed to meet up one line below the second L pendant. But they were going to meet head on, which tells me those extra stitches that I took up there probably don't belong there. So what am I missing? What am I seeing? What am I not getting? And I'm looking at the pattern, and I'm looking at what I have, and I'm looking at the pattern, and all of a sudden I saw it. The pendant comes down from the edges, and it meets together, and this side is the reverse of this side. So what I stitched above the W pendant is what I should have stitched above the second L pendant. And once I did that, I got my string to go all the way across, and I now have all the string for the whole pendant where they're supposed to be, and I have started stitching the O pendant. And I think it's time for me to put my Halloween Village afghan away for a while, because these pendants, they've been a bit of a bear. I had a lady ask me on Instagram, she sent me a long message, because after watching me do this, she wanted to do it herself. And she asked some questions, and I thought I would address those since I've got this one out here. She bought the 20 count lugana from Stoney Creek, or she bought it from somewhere. And she goes, that is a big piece of material. And I said, yes it is. She goes, how do you know where to start? I told her, for me, what I did, because if you read the directions on the back, it says that you're going to have approximately a 5-inch border. So I took my fabric lengthwise, and I folded it in half, and I measured down 5 inches. Right here, this square right here, the middle of the pumpkin is where I started. And then I stitched over to this side, and then I came back and I stitched over to this side. And that was simply to make sure that I would have my 5-inch borders all the way around. On this one, I started top center, 5 inches down from the edge of the fabric. The next question she asked is what to do about the fabric fraying. My fabric, I bought it from Stoney Creek. It's a Zweigart fabric, and it has the edges on both sides, on the long sides. So the only place that it's not serged or stitched or bound in any way is the top and the bottom. I haven't had any problem with it unraveling, and since when it's done it will end up being unraveled, if a random one comes off, I'm not worried about it. The other thing, I told her, my suggestion to her, there is a lot of DMC colors in this. Where's my book? That's the color list right there. And if you look at them, some of them say 6 skeins needed. Some of them say 12 skeins needed. Some of them say 9 skeins needed. Black needs 38 skeins of floss. My recommendation is go to whatever website you can and buy a cone of black. I bought a cone of black. I figured at the time a cone of black, and I've been stitching on this 2.5 years now, this cost $20. But I figured in the long run it would be worth it for me to have that cone of black. I suggested to her that she only buy one skein of every other color, except for the couple of specialty ones, because it's a lot of floss. It's a lot of floss to keep track of, and it's DMC. What I did to sort my thread is I made these floss drop cards. I took a 12 by 12 piece of scrapbook paper. I cut it into 3 by 4 inch sections. So I basically cut it into 6 floss drops, and then I laminated it. On the back, I wrote the numbers of what the floss is, and I did them in numerical order, and then I put them on a ring. This is one of every single color that will be used in this pattern. And then I went through and I cut all the flosses down to a length. I wish I hadn't done that part because this length I'm stitching 4/2, and this length floss doesn't really give you more than about 12-13 stitches, and then you have to trade it out. That's why when I went back and I cut these flosses out, I cut them much longer, because I learned my mistake. So her other question was, what do I keep it in? When I first started doing this, these were some questions that I was asking myself, but fortunately I have a friend who is a quilter, and she made me a bag and gifted it to me. I didn't know she was going to, but it's perfect for this as far as I'm concerned. It's a Mondo bag. This is absolutely gorgeous, and this was made for me and gifted to me by Lori, who is textilist here on FlossTube and over on Instagram. I mean, she did an absolutely wonderful job with this, and it's huge. It has lots of space in here. There are 2 side pockets inside here. I have another little bag here that I use. I just stuff all my flosses in there, and literally I do just stuff them in there. My cone is in there, my specialty floss is in there, but I can put that, the booklet, my Q-snaps, and I can wad up my quilt, and they all fit in that bag. So let me pause for a minute, and I'm going to give you a full shot of where I'm at on the afghan. Hold on. So there you are. This is what I have completed on my Stoney Creek Halloween Village afghan. I'm figuring it's going to take me at least 2, if not 3 more years to get this finished, but I think it is absolutely gorgeous. I do love working on it. I can't wait to get done with the pendants because I've had enough of them. One other question that she had asked me is, how do I corral all the extra fabric? I've talked about these many times, and I will link them again below. These are silicone magnetic ties. You can get them on Amazon. There's 2 different lengths. There's a short length. I get the longer of the 2. They're about 7 inches long. These are really, really nice because, one, they're silicone and they have a magnet on both ends. What I do is I roll up my extra material and I wrap this around, and it holds it in place. Now, at times, the fabric on the side gets really thick. So what I do then is I take 2 of them and I actually tie them in a knot and then put the magnet together there. So I've basically doubled the size of it, and this way I can get it around more fabric on the sides, and they work really well. So those are all the things that I can think of helping anybody who decides that they want to tackle an afghan. I think it's worth it. Alrighty. So when I was up at Cheryl's house and we were stitching, and I tell you, I love those ladies so much. They helped me so much because I'd had a bad couple of days at work, and I haven't been up to Acorns and Threads since December. I haven't met up with the local cluckers since December. I was really needing female company. And Anna gifted me with a pattern that she had found and bought because she thought that I would enjoy stitching it. I like the Addams Family. I'm creepy and kooky. It works for me. She found this really cute pattern called Boo by MamaWitchxStitch. And of course I'm going to list everything down below, but this is Boo. And I thought, you know, this really is adorable. It has a spider. We know I don't like the spiders. I stitched it. I did. It was difficult for me, but I did. I started this on Saturday. I was thinking to myself, this is on a gray background, gray-greeny background. Let's see what I have upstairs in my stash. So I went up there and I have Stonehenge by BeStitchMe, 16 count Ada. And I thought that would be perfect. So I started stitching on it. And of course I have to put the bag together, you know. So there's the bag that I'm using. I wish I remembered who I got it from. I had to go grab one of my Chris Yo blings, floss bling. The back says, "Keep calm and stitch on." And the front is Good Witch's Golden Ale bingo card. When Anna gave this to me, there was a needle minder on it, which you will be seeing in just a moment, from Mad for Minders. It says stay weird. Is she trying to tell me something? Works for me. This is where I'm at with Boo. I have most of him stitched. I've got a couple of bats. Yes, I have the creepy crawly. And I'm working on the frame up here. Now, I posted a picture of his face when I got him done on Instagram, and I said, he needs a name. Can you guys help me name him? And I had a lot of people come up with some names, and the first one was Cheryl saying, George. George is my brother. I don't think I could call this one George, because then I'd have to tell George that I named a cross-stitch piece after him and show him what it is, and he'd get mad at me, and, you know, brothers, no sense of humor, especially mine, no sense of humor. Yeah. I got it all. Somebody came up with Napoleon Bonaparte. That's okay. Someone came up with Mr. Magoo, like Mr. Magoo. Remember him? Mr. Magoo. That's a possibility. Then someone said Horace, and I was like, Horace. close, but not quite. The name that I had come up with as a possibility was Victor, but not Victor. It was more Young Frankenstein. Victor von Frankenstein. Victor. Is that his name? No. No, that's not his name. But then I was reading a story and I came across the name, and it was perfect for him because it's the combination of Horace and Victor. His name is Hector. But Horace gave me the names for the wife and son. Hector, Hortense, and Herschel. Now there's a grandma up here in the portrait. I still haven't figured out her name. Maybe you guys can help me figure out what her name is. So this is about 4 days worth of stitching. And I know that the tag says this is 16 count. I think it's closer to 18. I think it's shrunk some in the dyeing process. So this is where I'm at with Boo from MamaWitchxStitch. I want to share some happy mail with you. I was telling you that Lori, textilist, is the one who made my Bondo bag for me. She sent me another little bag and I received it last week, and it is just, well, it is so gorgeous. And I think, if not the same, it's very similar fabrics that she used to what she used in the Mondo bag. But she sent me this bag here. Has this nice long zipper on it, and when you open it up, it comes out to this nice rectangular bag. I think I'm going to be switching my flosses and stuff over in this if they fit, because the bag I have them in is much bigger. If not, I will still find a use for this, but this is beautifully, beautifully quilted. And of course it's all the Halloween fabric. Inside we have the ravens. But not only that, she made a little needle book from some of the fabric, and she added a package of 26 count Bowen needles. I love Bowens. And a packet of cinnamon tea. I have been watching these people talking about tea dyeing and spice dyeing different papers for journaling, and oh my gosh, so many good things. I'm now going to have to go through my stash and see if I can find some of the teas that they used, because one of them dyes the paper a really dark velvety blue-black color, and it's like, I need to play with that. She also made a little floss pad. It's got the felt on the inside here, so you can put your floss or your orts on that. A very nice, wonderful gift. Thank you very much, Lori. You know I love it, and I love the fact that it goes so well with my Mondo bag. Like I said, I am pretty sure that this is going to go inside it if I can get all my flosses in it. Okay, I only have a couple more things to talk to you about. One of them is that a lady who, I've never met her in person. She lives on the other side of the country. But she has been a regular viewer of mine, and she asked me if she could send me some patterns. And she said, you can keep them for yourself, or you can give them up for giveaways. I haven't done any giveaways in a while. I'm bad. I get the idea to do a video and I sit here and I get started, and I've got a box of stuff upstairs, but I forgot to look through it before I started to do my video. Well, thankfully, Janet sent me something so I can actually have it down here and do a giveaway, or 3. So she sent me 3 booklets. They are 3 completely different styles of designs, and I'm going to do a giveaway. I'm asking that you be 18 years old so that you can give me your name and address. I ask that you be publicly subscribed and do not say giveaway, pass the stash, or share in your comments, because I don't want the trolls. If you don't know who the trolls are, go back and watch my public service announcement. The first one is a Leisure Arts leaflet. It is Holiday Heirlooms, Book 7, called Blessed Thanksgiving. I don't do Thanksgiving stitching, so if this is something that you would like, please put Thanksgiving in your comment. The next one is a Christmas pattern. This is the Schiffer Collection, number 881. It is Father Christmas 3. While it's 1 booklet, you can actually get 3 designs out of it, and you'll see that on the cover. But this is what it looks like. Inside is the pattern for the stocking here. On the back is the pattern for the Santa, which is the Santa from the stocking, but it's been completed so because this one has this elf in front of it. And then there's also this one down here, the elf in front of the Santa, so you could either do them together as a stocking, you could do the Santa, or you could do the elf. If this is something you're interested in, say Christmas. The last one is the one that interested me the most, but I have no place to put this in my house, or I would have kept it myself. It is a Dimensions booklet. This is James Hemsworth, The Enchanter. This is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. I think Maggie, Kitsy Whips, is stitching on this, or something similar to it. This is gorgeous. Say Enchanter. E-N-C-H-A-N-T-E-R. So all 3 of these giveaways for this video are because of Janet. Thank you very much for sending them to me. Thanksgiving, Christmas, Enchanter. Alrighty, the last thing to talk about is related to my public service announcement that I did, Don't Feed the Trolls. Part of why I really needed to see my friends that Thursday is because I deal with people pulling scams on people on a regular basis at work, and it's frustrating. It is so frustrating because we can encourage people to not send money or not buy gift cards and give people the information from the gift cards. But at the end of the day, if the person is set on sending money to somebody, that might be a scam, or they buy a gift card and send off a picture of the front and the back of the gift card to somebody on Facebook that they've never met to get a puppy, and then they realize that they're not getting their $400 back again. I can try to talk them out of doing it, but if they're determined to do it, they're going to do it. And it's frustrating, and it's sad, and it just makes me so mad that there's people like that in the world that will try to take advantage of somebody else just for themselves. it's one of the reasons why I don't do giveaways very often, because I know stuff like that happens. And in doing videos for 5.5 years now, I've heard of a number of scams that have been pulled. It is so frustrating. Going forward, when I do a giveaway, I will announce the winner here. So if you enter a giveaway, please make a note to yourself to come back and check my next video, because I do them every other week, to find out if you're a winner. I'm not going to comment on comments anymore, because that may be a way that they're figuring out that there's a giveaway going on. I don't know. I'm guessing. If you enter my giveaway, you need to come back and watch the next video to see if I mention your name. I will give you until the following video to reply to me, and all I will ever ask for from you is your home address, your name and your home address, so that I can mail it to you. The 3 giveaways that I'm doing, because they're leaflets, I'll mail anywhere. So if you're not inside the United States, I'll send them to you. I can do that. Anyway, there is a lady who has recently become a designer, and I know she's local because I've actually met her up at Acorns and Threads. And I know that Anna Stitch Roadies has, or is stitching one of her patterns. She posted in the Facebook group, Pacific Northwest Stitchers, that she had watched my video, and the phrase I use, "don't feed the trolls," stuck in her head. So she designed a pattern for them. And yes, I had to go purchase it. This is Don't Feed the Trolls. This is by DaisyJo Designs. She's on Gumroad. This pattern is 151 stitches by 143 stitches. So it's not too big. It's a medium size piece. She has stitched it, or designed it to be stitched monochromatically, all in 310 black. Sorry, I've got a frog in my throat this morning. I love the border on this. I'm going to take this up to Acorns and Threads with me when I go up there next time, and I'm going to ask Janine for some help, because how I see doing this pattern, I think the border needs to be variegated. A gray, black variegation. So I need to go up there and see what is available. I see the 3 trolls as being stitched in dark grays, gray greens, trolls, because we got Papa Troll, Mama Troll, and Baby Troll. And Baby Troll has quite the nose. But the words, those have to be in red. Warning, don't feed the trolls. So, this is a cute pattern. DaisyJo Designs. She's on Gumroad. Please go check it out. I think that is everything that I have to share with you this week. It is still cold. I got up this morning to drive up to my old store because my counterpart at my store here in town wants copies of the book of notes that I wrote at the old store. So I drove up to the old store this morning, and it was nice. I got to see the coworkers I miss. I'm a horrible person. I didn't see the ones I don't miss. Anyway, I got to spend some time visiting with them up there. I came back from there, drove straight over to my store, gave her the book, and I said, "You have a week," because they want it. And I told them they can have this one. And then I had to come home, and I had to go on to Acorns and Threads and sign up for the Pacific Northwest Stitch Summit for 2023, which it will be in September. If you're going, you can either go in person or you can go via Zoom again this year. Go check out Acorns and Threads. It's under their classes section. But fill out the information, and until we meet next time, live long and stitch on, my friends. Bye-bye.